but you cannot sing. No, you bastard. Hello, I'm Julia. Welcome to a new, not vlog, just a video. Because this week I've been sick. You might be able to hear the mucus in my nose. I'm not going to talk more about it. I tried to talk about this with my family and they're like, we do not care about your mucus. Anyway, so today I've just made a paint. I am so tired, but I thought I was like, still need to post a video, and I was like, I wonder what my competitors are up to. So let's take a look and see how the market on handmade watercolor looks. Yeah, let's just dive into it. I want to see what all the other people are up to. I feel like I'm so focused on my own things all the time that I don't have the time to appreciate all the handicraft that other people are doing. So, okay, so we are starting off here on my own site, just so we can, I really need to, I have a lot of stuff that I need to fix, but, okay, let's search handmade watercolors. Handmade furniture, jewelry. I don't type very fast. Or when I type fast, it's not very accurate. Ooh, let's see here. Okay, so first off, we have a few ads. And let's click on the first one. Ultramarine ochre. Ooh, it looks very granular. Or, words. Words will be very tricky today. Just let me know. Letting you know. It says it's ultramarine ochre. I never heard about an ultramarine ochre, so I'm thinking it might be a mix of the two. Let's see here. First off, just looking at the image, I find it very like fun, interesting color. I love these kind of muted, muddy granulation that exposes another color. You know. Anyway, okay. Let's see here. It's handmade and paint-based. It's watercolor. The description. Oh, that was the description. It's a dual pigment, ultramarine and red ochre. Oh, that explains it, doesn't it? Looks very pretty. Looks very pretty. I wouldn't call that half pans. Now, typically a half pan is a standard size of how we store watercolors. So this is a standard half pan. Usually you get them in white, or if you want to be extra and pay a lot more for them, you can get them in clear. Am I bitter about it? No, I mean, I have made my choice. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. Oh, the pans here. Let's see it. I create them from clay and seal with resin. Ooh. Are made with my 3D printed bioplastic, which are made from plants and compost. Oh gosh, that looks really cool. I mean, it looks like a lot of work, but it looks really cool. Okay, let's see it. I didn't finish reading. Using my own binder. These are not vegan because they use honey. Yeah, I mean, especially if you have a paint that is both ultramarine and ochre, I mean, that is a tough job to re-wet if you don't use honey or glycerin in it. I mean, they would be rock solid. Let's see what else. A bit of Just Co. A place of the weird and kooky and handmade. Oh, the US. Okay, because the shipping cost is 160 Swedish crown. That is like $17 for shipping. We have some listing of Prussian blue. That looks very Prussian blue-ish. I would just say that this photo is a mistake that I have made many times, and that is not letting the paint dry before I take the photo. Usually paint, or when you have painted out something, you really need to let it dry, and that is something that you know, you just want to get the photos taken, getting on with the thing, but internet is bad. Can we switch the internet to my phone maybe? But yeah, so I'm just going to. So that is something that I can see here, is that you can see on the photo, just like on the painted out swatch and also on the pan, that it reflects so much light because it's still wet. So that is something that, you know, it's good to have the paint dry so you get a more accurate representation of the color. That is something that everybody who sells anything that is based off of color struggle with. You need to have as good representation of the true color as possible because you're selling the color. And just like we read, is that colors look very different on different screens. We need to do a best job with photographing, lighting, editing, and all of that. So that's just like, because it's the first one, it's a blue color on a red background, it really pops out at you. Smart choice. But it's just like the pan that I see from here is looking white, like the color of the actual pan. I know that that is just a reflective light. She probably has it next to a window, but that's just like whatever. Let's see here. We have some handmade painted grab bags, some oops pan. I mean, we do get a lot of those. There's no way around it, and you just like, you better just sell it off, get some of the investments back. Handmade pans that she has made herself. But it looks, I mean, it's a variety of photos. Oh, let's see here. Oh, she has some artwork too. It doesn't, oh, it has to be art print. I was like, those are really cheap. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it looks like there are prints. She has a very unique style. That's really fun. I really like when artists, like people who have art interest and they sell paint, like to see how they actually use them, you know. Okay, that was really fun. Oh, you can buy just, let's see if my internet here will be working. Okay, better. So she has handmade ceramic chameleon color shift watercolor half pan, full pans. Ooh, so it's more like a single little cup you can use. If you have some paint at home, you want to have like just a single cup with it. They look really nice. I am a sucker for anything color shifty. I mean, look at that. I mean, I love color shifting. Okay, let's back here. The second one that is an ad is an handmade watercolor. Okay, and then the other one is also bad. I am wanting to look at Hydra. Now, Hydra is a bigger name in the game here. And they have more of these like big ready set palettes, you know, that like you get them all. Very good. And I love this pink tin. I'm a sucker for pink tin. Well, to be fair, I'm a sucker for any tin that is not black. Julia, what colors of tins do you sell in your shop? Black. Oh, it's color shifting logo too. It's one of those vinyl that shifts colors from green to like gold, yellow, speaking my language. This is, oh, and it's all in color order, and oh, we have a close-up. Oh, they look good. I mean, I don't know, I was going to say, whatever you say about Hydra watercolors, I don't know what people say about Hydra watercolors. Like I said, I live under a rock, but they look so good. So good. So even. I see one with an air bubble. Like, how do you manage to get this whole pan of all different colors and you have one with an air bubble? I want to know the secret to that, because I get a lot more air bubble. Oh, this looks so good. So like a clear, crisp photography. The paints just like look so good, Jayla. Let's see here. Materials: pigment, gum arabic, honey, clove, vegetable glycerin. And they have such fun names. I mean, I have gone very much like a traditional people name on my colors, because I feel like they have personalities like persons do. But they have like Monroe, Orchid, Majesty, Orion, Iris, Sugar Plum, Serpentine, Emerald Sea. I mean, it's just like you get an idea when you read the name, like what kind of color that is. I don't have that on mine. You have no idea what color it is when you read Helge. You have no idea. Oh, and then they have written here, please remember the manufacturing handmade watercolors is quite common that air bubbles or air pocket will be present. Yes, they will. I don't know how they managed to get so few of them though. They are in Florida, which is why I have not bought. I think when I started like my interest in handmade watercolors, I bought from the US once or twice. But Sweden, they changed the shipping rules, which was not good. So now we need to pay a lot extra for. So I'm very careful when I buy from the US, which is sad. Well, I mean, I think it's good because otherwise I would be broke by now. But anyway, let's see here. Future featured items. They have a Sailor Moon collection. Like, I watched a lot of Sailor Moon when I was little, and one of my strongest memories was that my aunt, whenever she heard it, she would sing along with the intro, and she has one of the worst singing voices ever. I'm sorry, I love you so much, but you cannot sing. Well, not that song anyway. That looks Great. Okay, then we have Beetlejuice. That looks really cool. Like there's colors, that purple and that green. Mwah. Anime Spirit, oh those. And then we have, oh, those color shifting. I mean, I do have a few color shifting pigments, but I cannot get them as good as the Hydras that I have seen anyway. Have them, I have bought them, I have tried them out. I just can't get them as good as the Hydra ones. But from what I see, like the coverage that these colors have, I just can't get mine to have that. So I haven't done them. I feel like they are too expensive for me to put them out and not having them to be perfect or as good as I can possibly make them. So I have just decided not to do them. But I mean, they look really good. Like, really good here. But I'm really interested in this one, Radiance. That is a holographic one. That looks so cool. And like I said, these are expensive pigments. Like, these are not no joke pigments. These are not something you just like buy a kilo of and just like like these are expensive pigments to make, and for her to be able, I keep saying her, for this person, for Hydra to be able to put them out, I think it is the half pan that is, yeah, the half pan 130 Swedish kronor. Like that's good price. Like I don't think I could be able to do that. And really nice photos. I mean, you get a good representation of what you will get, but also how it will look in different lights. It looks really good. Okay, let's see here. I see a few brands that I haven't seen before. Here it looks like they have a whole palette of different colors. I'm guessing it's Mr. B watercolors or MRB. Oh, I have no idea. Okay, handmade watercolors set. Mica metallic watercolors, make your own set. Quarter pans. Now, I don't have any quarter pans, but in theory it is half of a half pan. And usually it's half as in a half height-wise. Typically. Because that's easier to make. Fun, like tapping the brush to open them. Oh, so you just you select here how many. Okay. So the most you can get is 43 colors for 115. I mean, that's good. What? How can they do that? Oh yeah, it's quarter pans. Okay, so here we can see the colors. They look really nice. We have a few air bubbles, much more realistic if I get to say something. But they look really nice. I mean, clear color, good photography. I mean, it's easy to see. Oh, I love this. Then the like swatching, like really nice. So it's like easy for you to see, and I think they've been able to capture the shimmer really well. That is really tricky to do with photography or scanning or whatever. That is something I struggle with a lot. To really get like the sense of what color is and how it actually looks when it's shimmering. So I think they've done a really good job of that. Oh, that melon color. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. And then we have, oh yeah, just like the swatch with the pan and then name, very clear. I do recognize a lot of these pigments that I also have, but in the same, there is only so many pigments, and most of us, I'm guessing, we get them from like the same few shops from the motor industry, so there's only so much you can do with it. But that saffron and that melon color, and I don't like warm orange pinky colors really. I'm much more of the blue green shelf here, so they look really good. Yeah, they look really nice. Okay, let's take a more of a closer look. Handmade what? From India. Ooh, oh, they have sketchbooks. Oh, I've been looking at Etsy for a sketchbook now. It's bad. I mean, I've been so close a few times, and I'm like, Julia, you can make your own. But it's something special with buying, you know. Anyway, okay. So here we have some more of those color shifting. They look so good. They look really smart photography. Again, here, you can clearly see the different names, and I do recognize a few names, and I think we've had the same thing, naming them after bigger stars. I see Sirius, Vega, Apella, and then the other ones I don't have. I think that's fun. Great minds think alike, you know? But really good. You can clearly see like what kind of shift you will get. And it's smart to paint it on black. We have here in the pans. So I think these are the pigments that I have bought and not made actual paints out of. Oh, I see something here that I have also had in my shop. I don't have any more right now, but I have had a few of these. And I really like them. Oh my god, you can make them custom? No, that will take forever. Okay, it says it takes 1 to 2 weeks to ship, which makes sense if you're going to buy them custom. I mean, I could not get these done in 2 weeks. They would not dry enough for me to be confident in sending these out. But I am in Sweden. He lives in India. We have completely different climates, so it could be that he just has a dry climate. Okay, we're just going to take a quick look at the sketchbook. A4 watercolor sketchbook, handmade Khadi paper. I love Khadi paper. Oh, and the covers are beautiful and Coptic bound. They will lay completely flat. Oh, it looks like it even like some form of fabric on the cover. You bastard. You know, the other day I was really grown up and I was sat down doing a budget for the year, like how much I was going to have for spending money, how much I was going to put away for my car, for Albert, for saving, you know, all of that. Oh, that is so good. Like, how much is the shipping? Okay, no, close the tab, Julia, close the tab. I do have quite a lot of Khadi papers. I should not. I could make my own. They look so good. Oh, here's another one. Okay, moving on. Pearl and Grey gallery? Ooh, I have not heard about Pearl and Grey. Like I said, I feel like the last, at least like last 2 or 3 months, I feel like I've been under a rock. Okay, first impression, like the first photo they have with the hand and a palette and the logo looks so good. It looks so good. It also, doesn't it look a little bit like a CD cover? Is that just me? I don't know. But I mean, I love the logo that you have, like that black, and then like, I guess it says Pearl and Grey, and then sparkly handmade palette, I think. Looks nice. And then just like the neutral, the sort of red, I mean, it looks really good. Wow. You get a little clap from me because that looks really good, that photo. Okay, let's see here. I think it is a little, ooh, nice. And I think they've applied the colors, it looks like, with some sponge. I don't know what they have done. It looks amazing. That shift is nice. Rainbow sugar? What is rainbow sugar? I don't know what it is, but I want it right now. Oh, and what they have done here, let's see, what is this? That was a bad Etsy, come on. Oh, they have done like, looks like little manga characters for each. That's fun. And then the hair is a different color. Oh, that's really cute. That's really cute. Okay, I don't think it is a CD cover. I just think it is clear acrylic packaging. The photography here, like the flat lays and everything, it looks so good. So good. I love this. So they have different like sets. Okay, it looks really nice. Where are they from? Let's see here. Can I see? Thailand. Okay. Okay, sparkly handmade paints by Pearl Grey, honey binder. Please allow some shrinking. Yeah, I mean, paints shrink. The water evaporates. Happens. And then we have a 2 milliliter half pan box set, and then 5. They say that pearl color can be mixed with other colors to make them sparkly. Yeah, I mean, you can use any metallic pigments and mix them with any traditional watercolor and make them sparkly. I really like to have a very strong like manga influence, like with the profile image, and then also the different swatches they have used. The color for the hair, I think that is brilliant. And I love that they keep on doing that. So I saw this handmade watercolor nude set, and I've been working on making a watercolor palette that is more for skin tones. So I'm really liking this. It looks really nice. It is, however, fairly light, which is something that I've been struggling a bit like, because the thing is, it's quite easy to make like this kind of single tone. But the thing with skin tone is, I mean, it's just enough for me to hold up my arm here. You see that this color is not the same as this color or the color here. I mean, so it is changing. And also for the ones that are darker or deeper in skin tone, I don't want it to look like mud or having that sort of white grayish cast. I want it to look like luminous and glowy, which is hard. It's damned hard. So they have this nude palette, which I would say is definitely more for Caucasian peachy skin tones, but they still look really nice. Especially that honey skin. That honey skin is like pretty. It's very pretty. But I would say like on that rose, that is something that when I come to deeper skin tone, I'm a bit afraid of. You get that sort of like white cast to it. But yeah, I mean, if you paint a lot of Caucasian people, I think this is a pretty good, fun palette to work with. And here you get some example on what I assume the shop owner has painted themselves. I mean, they have some skills. Like, let's just say what it is. And I also like that these kind of palettes, even though it's marketed as nude or skin color, yeah, they say like matte fair pink skin. I mean, I still feel like you can use them for so much, and because typically these paints are quite opaque because we need to add white to get that tone. I think it could be quite fun if you like to paint on darker paper too. Tape here. Fun little palette. It looks like a little bit of a makeup palette, which is really fun. I mean, keeping in with the theme. The paints look a little bit, they don't have that sort of puffy, pillowy look that I really like. You know, that Hydra color that we saw before. But the fact of the matter is, it's really hard to get these pigments, especially when you have so much white in them, to make them look good in a pan. You usually have a lot more air, like tiny air bubbles, so you don't really have that big air bubble. But usually you get a lot of tiny ones, so they just look a little bit dirty. And you don't get it, it's so much harder to get that sort of pillowy consistency, so they don't look as pretty generally as metallic colors do in a pan. It's sad, but it just like once you have used them once or twice, you don't think about it, I think. But yeah, I mean, the flat lay here looks amazing. I feel like my nose is clogging up. Oh, galaxy colors. Oh my, look at that. How can I not click on that image? Okay, so here someone has, like, especially on this one, you can clearly see that these paints have just been poured. You can see that the one here on the right has been standing a little bit longer, and then the green one, and then because you can see like how they sort of dull down a little bit as they start to dry. And that's what I mean, like they look so good when they're just poured. The person who has photographed here has been clever enough to make sure they don't get the whole reflective thing, that we can still see the color, but then you can also clearly see if we look at the pink one here versus the bluey green, like how much difference it makes when they are wet and sort of semi-dry. And I think for just consistency, it's better just to photograph them when they're dry, just to make them look as honest as possible. Like I said, the photographing of the paint is the thing. It's the tricky, hard. But actually looking at the colors, we have, we have Bellatrix, Neptune, Draco, Comet, Ariel, and Aurora. Here we can see that one has a fairly big air bubble. I just want to go in and poke it. I'm hating air bubbles. It's the same image again. And then I suppose that you can get, yes, mini pans and half pans. So the mini pans are these little circly ones, and they look so cute. They look so cute. I mean, I'm hoping that they are like sort of magnetically stuck to the tin. Otherwise, I feel like they would just fly all about. You would play like air hockey with them in there. But they look so cute. And where are they from? Why don't people put where they're from? Does it say on my page where I'm from? I have no idea. Let's see here. Oh, recognize the design here. Some Galaxy colors. They have some sample dot card. Now, when I started making my dot cards, I had not seen anybody do it the same as I did. But I think it's a really good idea, and I applaud anybody who does it because I feel like in the end, it helps the customer. Like, because usually especially when we have paints like stjärnorna, like I have, that is my most expensive colors that I do, and I want to make sure that I have the dot cards as readily available as I possibly can, because I feel like I want, first of all, I mean, you like I said, watercolor lasts a very long time, but if you get the dot card, you will make sure that you actually like the color and that you will use it before you invest in like all of them. So I think it's very clever to have dot sample. You will get to know the formula, the colors, if you like it. You know, I think it's very smart. And looks like they have difference here. Difference. Deep Space, which is the color that we initially clicked on. They have Celestial Shine, and that's Astra. That Astra looks amazing. Focus. Then we have Unicorn Dream, which is a different pearl colors. It looks very nice. I mean, I'm just thinking here. There's one that is pink pearl, lavender pearl, and lilac pearl. And I just feel like the lavender pearl is not lavender. I'm just nitpicky because I like purple, but yeah. Bright metallics. We have super red, super gold, sparkly gold, red copper, sparkly copper, rose gold. I don't think rose gold looks very rose gold either, but I do agree that there is a very bright metallics. I don't think I have a gold that is like that super gold. And I mean, can we just take and admire like how good the dots are? I have been making dots for, how long have I had my business? Oh well, since I started. And I cannot get my dots looking this good, so you get an applaud on that. Festive colors. That royal purple, that looks good. Peacock Garden. I love it. What else do they have? They have the like half pan set in these tins. These tins are very standard. They are very good. They fit 6 half pans very well, and usually we just put some magnets on top or underneath the pan. And then you can buy biodegradable glitter. Oh, they look nice. Oh, I wanted to see where these were from. United Kingdom. Huh. Okay, last one because soon I will lose all sense of words. Oh my god, I think we need to look on this one. Holographic glitter. I mean, I know it's out of focus, but, and normally I would be like, what? But because the holographic looks best when you have this sort of diffuse light on it, like, it looks so good. It looks, I think it is a different pigment than the one the Hydra has. I think this is a bigger size of particles, and that's why they say that it is glitter. All of them are slightly out of focus, and usually I would be like, I want clear, crisp images. But because it is a hollow, and I think they really want to capture the color shiftingness of it, I think that's why they have gone and done that. Now, it looks to be half pans for 62 Swedish kronor. That's super cheap. It is on a sale, grant that. Materials, glitter. Ships from Spain. Holographic glitter watercolor half pan handcrafted. Oh, okay, short and sweet. Pure Pigments by Olevra. They have a really nice border here. We can see a lot of different pigments. Featured items, we have carrot, lavender, lilies, and mint. I would say that lavender is more of a lavender that I would consider a lavender. And here I'm also like, I see all the other photos, they are much clearer, like they're in focus, which makes me to believe that the holographic one we just saw was a more artistic choice to show off the glitter of the holo. And it looks like they have like a sale going on. Oh, that cream looks good. Yeah, that looks really nice. I wonder if they say what pigments they have used. Handmade watercolor paint with hand mold pigments, non-toxic, honey or cruelty. I mean, it's good it's made without cruelty, I suppose. But I don't understand. Okay, it is translated, so I think the person actually wrote it in Spanish and then it has been translated by Microsoft, because for me it doesn't make sense. Handmade watercolor paint with hand mold pigments, non-toxic, honey or cruelty. Does it mean that it also is non-toxic, non-honey and non-cruelty? Or does it mean that it is made with non-toxic honey? I'm not really sure. But my guess, my educated guess, is that it's made without honey. Because it also says here materials, pigments, and Arabic gum or gum Arabic. It says here, unfortunately, the color came to me in fairly powerful yellow, in addition to having arrived wet. I know it's very difficult for the color to be 100% the same if it's on my hand, but at least it was okay. And that is something, again, that we come back to struggling with, is that accuracy of portraying a color. And when all of our screens have different color settings, it's really hard. Now, is it possible that she got the wrong color? Yes. I mean, it could have been that she was just sent a yellow color. So it could be that. Another option is, it looks like these two photos that we have here is taken next to a window. And typically that light is cooler light. Natural light tends to be more blue light, and we tend to have more yellow light in our houses. So it could be that, and also I don't know what phone she used, but I typically take a lot of images with my iPhone, and they tend to photograph quite cold. So that is something I am aware as to when I'm editing my photos, that I need to go and make the colors more warmer to make them more accurate for the screen that I have, because that's the only screen I can take in consideration. So yeah, that is something that we struggle with, trying to get them as similar as possible, as similar to the color that we perceive when we have painted the colors out from the color that we have made, but also to make them appear as similar on the screen, so that the customer don't leave a bad review when they get them because it's the wrong color. From what I can see here, they do look kind of yellow. Like, it looks like it has a pretty strong yellow undertone, as cream does. Cream is a very, very light yellow. I think it would have been good here for the person to write down what pigments were used. I think that might have helped. Editing Julia, just hopping in here. What I think is actually happened now that I have looked at this footage many times is that the photo of the pan and the painted out swatch is of two different things. So the painted out swatch has had time to dry and showing off that more of that yellowness, whereas the pans that are being photographed have just been poured, making them, one, look brighter and lighter because they still have that so much moisture that they are reflecting more light. But also, I believe, even though there is no information about the pigment, I believe that this paint is made with white, I would guess titanium or zinc white. Both of those pigments look very, very white once they are wet, and they will let out the other pigments when they sort of dry down. So if you mix white and yellow, it will look almost white when you're mixing it, but once you have actually let the paint dry, it will look more yellow once it actually has dried down. And I think that is the issue here, that
it's hard to represent the color, but because the pans, in my belief, I believe they are still wet, making them look much lighter than they actually will be once you're painting them out. That is my opinion of what has happened here. I want to sort of defend both of the, like, both the buyer and the one who have made it, but I believe that it is a part that it's hard to represent the color truly and accurate, but also that the best way to do that is to photograph it when it is actually dry. Everybody knows you look very good. Yes. Back to the video. Okay, we just need to look at him a little bit more. Okay, now back to the video.
But it looks like on the wall they have over 4,000 sold, and they have a fairly good stars. Let's look at someone else. I think that might have been just a fluke, you know? Yeah, because here it says on this color that is wine, 5 stars from Elizabeth. This watercolor pan is pleasant to work with and the color is very nice. The pan takes a long time to dry, so make sure. I mean, that's true for anything. I mean, watercolor, you add a lot of water to it and it takes a long time to dry. And if you wet your palette, use your paint, and then close it up so it's airtight, mold will come up. That's why a lot of the tins or palettes that we use are not completely airtight, because you don't want to mold, because you usually close them off once you've painted with them, and they are typically wet when you have been painting with them. It's also a problem if you use a lot of very, very soft watercolor like Sennelier or M. Graham that has quite a lot of honey in their formulation of the binder, which means that they hardly ever like dry out. They're more like settle. So if you have a palette and you have paint in it and you put your palette like this in a backpack, and then when you remove it from the backpack and the paint are dripping down, yeah. So from this comment I take it that the color was very nice and that this person might have learned something from using watercolor. Now, from what I can see here, they don't have any preservatives in their paint. Oh, but here it says handmade watercolor. Sorry, I'm going to try that again. Handmade watercolor pure pigments by Oliveira. Pure pigment watercolor, high pigmentation watercolor with honey and natural binder, super fast shipping. So I'm taking that the other one was actually made with honey. I mean, they could have different anyway. So what I think happened here is more that this person didn't really have the watercolor know-how, because yeah, can watercolors start going moldy? Yeah, of course they can, but pure pigment here by Olivra, I'm so sorry. They use honey, and honey is a very good anti-mold part. I mean, we use honey for different things. It's not just that everybody uses honey, so I'm also using honey. Honey is used for a few different things. Part 1 is that we want them to get soft. Using just gum arabic and water will make a good binder for your watercolor, but it will also make them really, really hard and dry. Using this is a humectant, which means it dries moisture from the air, makes them a little bit softer and easier to work with. It is also a preservative in a way. Some also likes to use clove oil as a preservative, and that is what you some watercolors have that a very unique scent to it, a very they have a scent, and that is the clove oil that is to prevent mold. But like I said, if you have a palette that is wet and then you close it off so it doesn't dry, that's what happens, you know. But honey is good for many things. And let's see here, there's another one, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. So I don't think there's anything bad with these pigments or pure pigments. I think that like anything, stuff happens, and as someone who makes watercolor, we can't decide how the customers will receive or find the color when we can't control how their screens are looking, and we can't decide how they store or use the colors either. That's just another thing that I just feel like I need to say before we leave Pure Pigments here is that please clean the tins or the pans before you take the photograph. They make such a big difference. I can see the color wine here. It looks amazing, that color. It truly looks like a red wine. It looks so good. But the pans, I mean, if you just had sort of cleaned them up a little bit, it would look so much better. That's the only thing I can say. Yeah. Oh, and they wrapped like little candies. That's cute. So yeah, just like clean off the pans. It's tedious, and I spend many hours each month cleaning pans, but I do believe it is worth it. Yeah, especially if you're going to photograph them. I think we have taken a pretty good look at a few of my competitors. I just scrolling down a bit and I can see many more, and I'm like, oh, I want to look at all of them, but I also need to make other things than sitting here and make myself not buy all of them. So that being said, what I think about my competitors making handmade watercolors, I feel like I have really good competition. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I certainly have. I just really need to control myself now because I have a whole list of stuff I want to buy. So I'm trying not to, but I mean, there's worse things to buy than handmade watercolor or sketchbooks. So I'm just saying. Anyway, I will link all the stores that I've checked out today in the description down below. I hope you have a great day, take care, and next week there will be a normal studio vlog.